Welcome to today's masterclass. I'm Tammy Sugar, founder of the I Am Worth It project, coming to you live from our studio, the home of transformation for women. Today, I want to share with you the 3 simple steps to success for women. You know, I've been leading and coaching and mentoring thousands and thousands of women over the course of my career and my entrepreneurship. And I've discovered that there's a few things, these 3 things that we have in common, that when we can conquer them, it's going to lead us to success. And I really want you to become the woman you were meant to be. Because ask yourself this question: how would your success impact your family, the people you love, the world at large? And even more important, how would your success impact you? You know, that living at your highest potential, more confidence, more money, and more importantly, more freedom. You know, the world is ready for you to step into that highest version of yourself. Can you feel it? Because I can, and that's why I'm on this mission to help women stand up, speak out, and soar into their highest potential. So let's get set up here and let's get started. I don't want to waste a minute of your time. We have about an hour together here today. Okay, so let's just hide this and let's get started. Okay. So first of all, welcome. Like I said, I'm so happy you're here, and perhaps some of this will sound familiar to you. You know, you may have feel like you have failed in the past at reaching your potential. And what I want you to know, it's not your fault. Or you have been concerned that you can't succeed as a woman. And I want you to put those fears to rest today. Or perhaps, like I was, you've been conditioned to believe that you're not worth it, that you can't live the life that you dream about. You don't have what it takes. And I want to tell you today that that's just not true. And I'm here to show you what's really holding you back, and then how to become that person that you have always dreamed of becoming. And that's what we're going to go through during this class today. So my goal, well, I want to help people who want to believe. So maybe you don't believe right now, but you want to believe that you're worth it, and you want to live that life that you dream about. And you want to stop that constant feeling of not being good enough, of feeling less than, you know, other people. Why don't I have what they have? But worse yet, to stay stuck and existing every day in a life that they hate. Well, the only way I found that you can believe that you're worth it is when you realize that you have a personal superpower. And when you know how to use it, it can positively impact your life and your success. And I know the only way to do this is through my program, because it is the driver behind personal transformation for women. So of course we have a little bit of housekeeping, because you're here, something brought you here for whatever reason you're watching this today. And I'm a big believer in the power of synchronicity, or as Wayne Dyer would say, that, you know, when you're ready, your teacher shows up. So you're here for a reason. So give yourself the gift of being present. It's an hour. You deserve an hour of time where you're focused just on yourself, because self-care is not selfish. And the reason why you want to be present is you want to capture these aha moments, because I promise you, I guarantee it, you are going to have aha moments. It happens every time I deliver this class, whether it's live or online. And those aha moments are the moments when the blinders of your brain open up, and you're never able to go back and think about a topic or an idea or yourself in the same way again. And you want to capture those moments. So get a pen and paper, make sure you write them down. But the best way to capture them is by being present. And in order to do that, you need to shut down all your distractions. So, hey, I get how we're all trained now. We've got something going on the computer. We got our phone happening, but that's not going to give you what you need today. So for the next 60 minutes, just shut it all down, shut the doors. And I promise you that this will be worth your time and valuable for you. Okay. So who is Tammy Sugar anyways? Why should you even listen to me? Well, I'm a product of self-education. I've been creating success against the odds. And of course, the norms of what the world says is the traditional right path or credentials that you have to have for success my entire life. I was the driver behind the introduction of one of the most successful membership models in the world. So, you know, do you have a Costco card? Well, when we introduced that second tier, maybe you have a black one, an executive card. If you live in Western Canada, I may have sold you that. So I was the driver behind the introduction of our executive card. I loved Costco. I loved my career there. I spent 19 years. And then after that, at that moment, I was saying, is this all there is? Is this all that I'm going to do for the rest of my life? And maybe you've had that feeling before where you're like, is this it? And so I decided to make a change, and I landed at a startup company. So I went from big box retail to a startup company that was converting waste energy into usable electricity. So quite a change in industries. I helped them build that company from an idea, you know, just myself and a couple of guys, to $125 million market cap, helped them raise $70 million in equity, and built the entire infrastructure. So the foundation of the business, including all their training and development that helped people be successful, not just in an ordinary business, but in a startup. I don't know if you've ever been part of a startup, but it's different than in a big corporation where all the processes are in place. But in a startup, you're building and doing at the same time. And, you know, I also have studied NLP. So what is that? Just really, basically, it's how your brain drives your behavior. I've always been fascinated by the power of our brain and what can we do with that power in order to improve not just our lives, but the success that we achieve. And, you know, when I left the startup company, it came at one moment. That's when I finally discovered my worth. And I decided, you know what, I'm going out on a mission to help other women uncover their worthiness. And that's when I became an entrepreneur. So founder of the I Am Worth It project. As I said at the beginning, I'm an author. My book, Chasing Worthiness, comes out digitally in October. And that's really my personal journey from not good enough, smart enough, thin enough, hundreds of other kinds of enough that we as women will tell ourselves. And in the bookstores in January 2021. I'm a speaker, both on my own stage here at our studio and on other people's. And I'm a business and life strategist. So what does that really mean? Well, my goal is to expedite your growth. I don't want you to spend years and years and years getting to where you want to go. First of all, because I don't believe it's necessary, but also because time is valuable and I don't want you wasting even one more day just existing when you can actually be living your life. But the most important thing that I really want you to know about me is that I was an unlikely candidate for success. So if you look at where I started, you know, most people would say, including myself when I was young, I grew up in the hood or the wrong side of the tracks. And, you know, I didn't necessarily follow tradition. And so if you would have looked at me back then, you probably would have said, well, there's not, you know, not a lot of likelihood for this girl to grow up and achieve the things that I did. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So a little bit about me is that I definitely know a thing or two about what it takes to be successful as a woman in business and in life. I was often the only woman in the room, definitely the only woman at the board table. I worked my way up from the stockroom floor to the, you know, a corporate executive at the boardroom table. And that was even though the world was constantly telling me that I wasn't qualified. I didn't have the right credentials. I was a teenage mom. I dropped out of high school and I was married into a very chaotic marriage before I was old enough to vote. And, you know, at 16, I sentenced myself. So I gave myself a prison sentence to a life without success. At 36, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And I remember being in my doctor's office after the initial biopsy and asking him, am I going to die? And he said, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And in that moment, right here, even now, I can still feel that I was filled with this overwhelming sense of regret. And it wasn't regret for the things that you would think it would have been, like for the things that I had done, become a teenage mom, dropped out of school. It wasn't regret for that. It was regret for all the things that I would never do, the dreams that I had pushed down, like being a writer and writing a book. All those things I had pushed down because I didn't believe I had what it takes, and I didn't believe that I was worth it. And, you know, it was in that moment that I also made this commitment to myself, and that was that I would never, if I lived long enough, I would never have that feeling of regret again. Now, I didn't realize at that time that that's also where the seeds of the I Am Worth It project were planted, because I didn't connect the dots. I didn't know that in order for me to live that life without regret, to keep that commitment to myself, I would also have to uncover my worthiness. So why does this even matter to you, or how does this even apply to you? Well, it's a message, and I really want you to hear this, that it doesn't matter about your past circumstances. So it doesn't matter what you believe you may have done in the past, or even what's been done to you. It doesn't predict your future success. And secondly, it's an example, because I hear this from women all the time. I don't have the right skills or the right education. It's an example that you can still be successful. You can find a way to be successful even if you don't have the right credentials. But most importantly, you know, I want you to hear today that this is a cautionary tale. And that's the danger of putting your dreams on hold, of waiting for the time when you have the right amount of money or the right amount of skills, because we don't know how much time we have on the planet. And so for me, that's why I'm about expediting your success, because it's time to do it now. So let's talk a little bit about results, because I love the women that I have worked with. And I want to talk about Shannon, who, Shannon is a teacher, a young teacher, and I met her through a group that I was in. And after the class, you know, Shannon had told me that she had this dream, this passion that she had been working on for the last year to get out into the world. And what it was is she wanted to show people that, you know, often what we see, and you know, so we'll see someone and we'll believe something that's not necessarily true. And she was stuck. You know, she felt like she couldn't get traction. And after the class, it was amazing what she accomplished in less than a month. She took her passion from a dream and moved it into reality. She launched her Beyond Your Image on Facebook and Instagram, so you can find it there. And she was also then, after doing that action and getting it out there, she was picked up for and featured in a segment on television. And that's what she said was, "Thank you, Tammy, for helping me bring my dream into a reality." And isn't that what we really want to do? We have these dreams just like I did, and I pushed them down, but we need to bring them into reality, because that's where dreams are supposed to go. So what are we going to cover today? Well, how to get on that right path, and really some of the myth about the right path, how to become a winner, not a quitter, because we believe as women, the reason why we're not successful is that, you know, we lack willpower, we start things and we never finish. And then finally, step 3 is about how to believe you're worth it, because that's when you're going to live the life that you're worth. So let's get going. So how to get on the right path, or the myth of the right path. And so maybe you've asked yourself that question, am I on the right path? Or you might have framed it saying, hey, I'm this age. Am I where I'm supposed to be right now? Am I making the right amount of money? Am I married? Do I have children? All these questions that we'll use to determine if we're on the right path. Well, the right path comes from, you know, what you believe to be the right path comes from your parents, the people around you as a child, your environment, maybe where you live geographically. And Dr. Bruce Lipton writes that from the time we're born till we're about 6, I think it's longer, it's like we're in a hypnotic trance and we're downloading all our perceptions and beliefs about the world in general, including what's the right path to success. And we download them into our subconscious mind, our brain. And the problem with that is because we're children, we don't have critical thinking skills. So we can't decipher or decide which ones we should keep, you know, which beliefs are going to serve us and which don't. So we just accept everything as true. So I just want you to consider that for a minute. Everything that we hear and are told, we just accept as true. Beliefs about who we are, what we're capable of, and how the world works. And then we head into school. Almost every woman I meet can tell me a story about a moment in school where they were defined by something someone said to them about the way they look, about a capability. I bet you can remember something too. So we get this right path. We believe there's this right path. And for me, I got mine from my parents. There they are, Florence and Twyville. They're both in heaven right now. But from them, you know, they want it, like every generation, for their children to be more successful than them. So the right path that I used as a measuring stick was graduate high school, get a good job with a pension so I could stay there for 40 years, then get married, have 2 children, buy a house, a bigger house, and retire, have some grandchildren, travel, and then die. And that was the measuring stick. If I did that, I would have lived a very successful life. So what do you believe right now is your right path? When I say that, what do you believe is the right path to success for you? One of the things that my dad would always tell me, and a belief that I carried into adulthood, was Tammy, just work hard. If you work hard, everything is going to be okay. And I always had a strong work ethic. I got my first job at Ponderosa Steakhouse. Maybe you remember your first job for $1.35 an hour, if you can believe that. But I got that job for a reason, and that was because I had started junior high and I was really struggling to fit in. And I wanted a pair of Star jeans. They were designer jeans back in the day, but they were $25. And my parents couldn't afford that. You know, they had the star on the back pocket. But for me as a 13-year-old, I really believed that if I could get these jeans, it would help me as I went into high school. There you can see I'm the one with the pouty look. And it would help me fit in. And that's why I say this whole part of our identity and who we believe we are, even if we're not aware of it, is going on during those early years when we don't have any decision-making skills. And then when we're in school and we're more inclined to take on other people's opinions and beliefs about who we are. But here's the thing, as I said, you can have success without the right credentials. Let's talk about a few famous people. Ellen DeGeneres, who, you know, she started college but never finished, but she took that path to success not once, but twice. And Rachel Ray, if you've watched her on the Food Network, a very successful in that industry, but never went to culinary school. And of course, we have to have Oprah Winfrey on the list because she came from very humble beginnings and is now one of the richest people in the world. And there's me, because I did come from that wrong side of the tracks. I worked my way up from the stockroom floor to the boardroom table without the right credentials. But there's one more person that I want to have on this list, and I really want you to hear this. If you're in any way thinking, or this sounds familiar, that, you know, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the money. I don't have the skills. I don't have the education, because I want you to insert your name here. because I'm telling you that you do have what it takes. Success is possible even if you're believing that you don't have the right credentials. So I get it. Some people, you know, and women are thinking, well, what is this whole personal superpower thing and how will it impact my life? And I want to tell you a quick story about Jolene. Jolene worked for me at Costco when I was at Costco in Red Deer, Alberta. And she left to become a business owner. She opened up concessions in arenas in the city that she lived in. And she struggled with that belief about her. She was a very hard worker as well, but she struggled with that belief about being able to be that business owner and negotiate contracts for her business and do the things that would increase her revenue and her profit. So once she recognized her own superpower, though, she was empowered as a business owner. And this is what I want to really say to you is that when you recognize your own personal superpower, you are empowered to do the things that will lead you to success. So after completing the training, she took a stand renegotiating her business lease. She reduced her expenses and put the money back in her pocket. And this is what she says, her testimonial is also on my website. It changed my life. Anyone can do anything if you follow Tammy's steps. Now, you might also be thinking, hey, this is who I am. This is who I am, Tammy. There is nothing I can do to change that. But here's what I want you to remember is that we all head into adulthood with this backpack filled up of beliefs, right? Beliefs that we had usually, we're not even aware of what they are, but we had no choice in deciding that they would be good for us. And so in my backpack, first of all, I had that I fell off the right path. So you heard what I thought my right path should be. Well, I fell off that right path because I became a teenage mom. I dropped out of school. I entered into a chaotic marriage before I was old enough to vote. And so already at 16, I had these three major beliefs that floated at the top of that backpack for me. Number one, from my dad, work hard and everything will be okay. But the problem with that was I was always working hard, but waiting for somebody else to notice and give me that raise or promotion. And that never happened. Number two was that I wasn't as smart as other people because I didn't finish high school. And then number three, and this is important because I gave myself a life sentence, a life without success. So I headed into adulthood believing that was who I was. And there was nothing I could do about it. I had already at 16 gave myself the sentence that I would never be successful. But there's something that I need you to know. And that is that whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, it's going to be true, right? And so you need to remember that that backpack of beliefs was not something that you had the critical thinking skills or the ability to decide on that that's who you are. And that's really the truth, is that those beliefs were formed and we're mostly unaware of them as we carry them, but they're driving our behavior, right? But you didn't have the skills to decide if they would serve you. But I also want you to know that you can reset and reprogram. You can unpack that backpack and you can reset and reprogram these beliefs. And it doesn't have to take years. Okay, now I've heard this many times. Tammy, I'm a failure. I start things and you know, then I don't finish. But the number one thing that I hear from women is when I have that confidence, I don't have confidence, but when I do, I'm going to ask for that raise or promotion. And there was a KPG women's study that said 63% of us, of women, they say that they lack the confidence to ask for a raise. And I was definitely one of those people that I would never ask. I was always working hard and waiting. And have you said that too, that when I get the confidence. And the problem with that is that you can't just wait for confidence. You have to practice it. And Allison was a good example of that. I hired Allison at the power company, and when she started with us, she had all the qualities, but not the qualifications for the role that I was hiring for in the business. She had come from a coordinator background in education, but she was afraid to get up and speak. And this was something that was really holding her back. And I hired her as a project coordinator because I believed that she could be successful even without the right credentials. And when she was done, when I had worked with her to build that confidence through practice, Allison became a successful 6-figure project manager in the power industry. So in a completely new industry, she earned her project management designation, and she achieved what I believe, and is always my first goal for all women, is to hit that 6-figure mark, because when you do, it gives you a taste of true freedom, right? And it's something, it's like a North Star that we all look towards, but often we think it's not achievable. But I'm here to tell you that yes, it is. You just need to know the path to it. Now, has this happened to you where you've been inspired to make a change? I'm ready to make a change, but then it just doesn't happen. Well, I want you to think about this, because I want to just share something with you. So, do you drive? And most of us do. And I remember when I learned how to drive, I was in this big car with my dad next to me, and I was afraid. I was thinking what all these different things I had to do, and how was I going to keep this big car between the two lines of the road, right? And then fast forward to today, I'm on my way to the studio. I'm excited about what's going to happen, and I'm driving along, and then whoa, I'm in the car, but my mind is somewhere else. And I know that that's happened to all of us. It can be kind of scary. But what is that? Well, what it is it's a program that your brain runs, the power of automaticity. When we repeat behaviors over and over again, we're able to do them without thinking. Driving is just one example, right? But it's a good example because this has happened to most of us, right? So here's the thing, Dr. David Eagleman says that we spend 95%, I want you to think about this, 95% of our day living what I call the robot life. But really what it is you're living in automaticity. And if you think about your days, often you get up at the same time, you get out of bed on the same side. We create these routines and rituals that we do every single day. Now, in this state of unawareness is where we're making all of our decisions and taking our actions. And most of these are not leading us to success. They're actually negatively impacting our success. So we have to be aware that we are living in this, what I call the robot life. But the other thing about automaticity that's so amazing is that your brain is already running this program, and you can use the power of automaticity to also create routines and rituals that help you be successful. So I know that I hear that it makes me sad, but I know I felt like that too, that I was a failure, I was a quitter, I lacked willpower, because I would get inspired and then I would start things and I wouldn't finish them. But I want to share a quick story with you. And I was in my cancer treatment. So I'd had my surgery. I was going through chemo. I don't know if anyone's had cancer or maybe a member of your family, but during the treatment of chemo, I was very, very tired. I couldn't even explain it. And I was at home, and I turned on the TV. I was watching Oprah, 1998, and Oprah was in the audience. And there was this lady who was talking about her life, a bad childhood, a bad marriage. And I'm nodding along. I'm like, yes, I know. I was a teenage mom. I dropped out of school. I was in an abusive marriage for 16 years. And when I finally got the courage to leave for myself and my children, I had to leave all my wealth behind to protect my safety and start over again. And just when I was on the brink of getting back on my feet, now I have cancer. You know, we all have those stories that we can tell. We can stand up and go story to story. But then Oprah said, but what if you told a new story? Aha moment, blinders of the brain opening up. And that's why these are so important, because these are the moments when your life changes direction. And so why is that? Well, I got up from the couch. I said, that's it. I'm changing my story. And I was going to go for a walk. I was going to take the path that I used to take before I was sick. And I got halfway around. I'm inspired to change my story. And the next thing you know, guess what happened? Boom, there I am laying on the sidewalk. I had tripped. My knees are skinned and bloody. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I should have stayed on the sofa. What was I thinking? I can't change my story. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the money. I don't have the skill. I don't have the education. I'm sick, right? Now I have to tell you, in that moment, I did decide that I was going to keep that commitment to myself. But here is why this happens. It's not you. When you're inspired, right? And you get out there and you start to do something new, and then you get this waterfall of negative thoughts that tell you not to do what just a moment ago you were inspired to do. It's not you. You are not a failure. You don't lack willpower. You're certainly not a quitter. What happens is, this is your brain on change. This is what I call it, your brain on change. Our brain is wired to protect us. So anytime we step outside of our comfort zone, even if what we're doing is good for us, it will send us that waterfall of negative thoughts so that it can pull us back into our comfort zone. So I want you to remember that our brain, because it's wired to protect us, will pull us back into our comfort zone. So here's the truth. Your brain is your personal computer. So here I am, Tammy, and I always imagine it's in the palm of my hand. And that computer is the most powerful computer on the planet. And you can, like, studies show that we're living 95% of our day like a robot. So that's your brain running your life. Or you can decide that you're going to take charge of your brain and you're going to introduce those new programs, rituals, and routines that are going to lead you to success. And that is a big game changer. Well, my whole business, my foundation of my business is about worthiness. And I know this for sure, the biggest gift that I've ever received in my life was discovering my own worth. And as I sit here today, knowing that I am just as good as everybody else, that I'm capable, that I'm skilled, that I'm able to go out and try and do different things, all these things, the speaking, the author, the entrepreneur, that I would have never have done before when I didn't believe that I was worth it. So when you believe you're worth it, you're going to start living the life that you're worth. The thing about it is that 85% of the population suffers from low self-esteem. Can you imagine? 85% of us. But I want you to think back to all those beliefs that we bring into adulthood in our backpack. I know women will say, I'm not good enough, smart enough, thin enough, skilled enough. There's so many enoughs that, you know, there's hundreds of them, that we're on that constant chase for worthiness, which is why I named my book that, because that's what I felt I was doing my entire life, chasing worthiness. But I want you to think about this. What is our worthiness made up of? What is our worthiness made up of? It's made up of our beliefs like a Dove report that says 85% of us will say that we'll opt out of important life activities because we don't like the way we look. We don't think we're good enough the way we are. Studies show that over 75% of women say they suffer from the imposter syndrome, which is really just a low worthiness tank where you don't believe that you have what it takes or that you're out there doing things. But if the world really knew you, They'd say, oh, let me take that job away, or let me take that business away. We're constantly looking at ourselves with beliefs, right, that aren't true, because we carried that backpack of belief into our adulthood, and most of these beliefs we're unaware of, and we had no decision making in. I want you to consider that. What is in that backpack of your beliefs, and what kind of life sentence are you leading right now? I always believe this. Women will say to me, well, when I achieve my goals and my dreams, then I'm going to be worthy. But that's not true. That's not how it works. You can go out there and you can get the raises and the success. I worked my way up to the boardroom table from the stockroom floor, and I still didn't believe that I was worthy. You know, I met Pam. She was my event planner. She started with my first I Am Worth It live event. Very successful business owner, self-made woman, had done incredible things with her life. And during the first event, as I went through, similar to the class I'm teaching right now, I could see Pam crying in the background with Kleenex. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is happening? And this is just a part of what she wrote to me the next day, when she said, listen, I've been trying to get validation for myself and what I've accomplished my entire life. But I realize now that I have to fill up my worthiness tank, and what you gave me is priceless. Believing you are worthy is the most important gift I could give to you, because when you feel worthy, you will go out there and step outside your comfort zone. You'll do the things that right now you're afraid to do. And so that's why that worthiness is the foundation to everything that I teach. But I need to tell you this, because I always like to end with the truth, is that you're already worth it. Just as you are right now, you are already worth it, but you don't believe it. And the reason why you don't believe it is because you are carrying that backpack filled with beliefs, most of which you're unaware of and are not true. And that's what's driving your behavior. That's what's determining how you feel about yourself. But I have to tell you that that is exactly what can be reset, reprogrammed, and new data and beliefs entered, and not by taking years to do it. Okay, let me ask you a question. First of all, I'm sure you've had some aha moments, and I hope that you are enjoying this class so far. Every single time I deliver this message, I hear from women about what they've recognized about themselves. So we've covered about the right path and how we build all those beliefs, how we're filling that backpack. We also covered the fact that you're not a quitter, you don't lack willpower, that our brain has programs that it runs. And like when we step outside our comfort zone, and then all of a sudden, you know, the brain tries to protect us by giving us that waterfall of negative thoughts. And you can learn to reprogram that. You can learn to use the brain's program that it already has the power of automaticity to introduce new rituals and routines that lead you to success, so that you're not spending 95% of your day living that robot life where your brain is running your life for you, keeping you safe but unhappy, right? Most importantly, you've learned that your worthiness is made up of those very beliefs that you're unaware of and that fill your backpack. And perhaps you've even discovered that you have your own life sentence that you've given and that you're living, and it's time to open up the door of that cage of false beliefs and reprogram and reset. That's your personal superpower. Your personal superpower is when you recognize that you are in charge of your destiny. So if you're ready, I want to show you how to take this to the next level. So shout it out. Yes, I'm ready, Tammy. I am ready to move to the next level of my life. I want to share with you about my I Am Worth It transformation program. It's my exclusive inner circle plus my home study program. Because here's the thing, the human brain is the most powerful computer on the planet. And this program, the I Am Worth It transformation program, is the method to reprogram the code that convinces us not to strive for success at the next level. You know, it's going to help you believe that you're worth it so you can start living the life that you dream about in less than 30 days. You don't need to spend years going back and digging up these beliefs. There is a really quick way to make decisions about the ones that serve you and the ones that don't. And I want you to stop feeling like you're not good enough, smart enough, thin enough, or that you're less than other people. But more importantly, instead of existing in a life that you hate, I want you to create a life that you can't wait to get up the next day and start living. So here's what you're going to get is my exclusive Inner Circle and Home Study program. And it is in 2 parts. It's 6 seasons. So part number 1, this is about reprogramming those beliefs, unpacking that backpack of beliefs about who you believe you are, what you believe you're capable of, and how you actually see the world. And in part 2, it's about unpacking the beliefs and reprogramming the beliefs about what it takes to be successful. You know, we go to school, we learn traditional education, but they don't teach you how to go out into the world and execute. They send you out there with the same education and training that everybody else gets who took that program. But when you get into the real world, you realize that you need to be able to influence and communicate. So part 2 is really about reprogramming the beliefs you have about getting out there and being successful so that you can stand out in the crowd. And like Allison did, to become a 6-figure project manager. Now, I want to tell you about Laura. Laura was a 20+ year stylist when she decided to open up her own salon, very successful. She had clients who were still following her from the very beginning, which is something to be said, right, in that kind of industry. And then she purchased her own salon and she came to me, she said, I can't be an owner, I can't do the paperwork, and I can't boss people around. And then after the training, she built a successful business that she sold for 5 times what she paid for it. So imagine now if you're a business owner and you could have that return on investment of 5 times of what you paid or initially invested in your business. What if you could 5 times your annual salary in 6 years? So I want you to think about the difference that that would make in your life and the freedom that it would give you, because now Laura is living in that freedom. She works 2 to 3 days a week, where before she used to work 6 to 7. She said, I didn't believe I could do it, but your program showed me that I was capable of more than I believed I was. And that's really where, you know, the seasons 1 to 6 are. They're about reprogramming the beliefs you have about what you're capable of, who you are. You know, when you say, I can't do anything, it's who I am. But you can reprogram those beliefs. So who does this work for? Well, women who want to make that mindset transformation, they're ready to reset. You're ready to reset and thrive, not just survive, but succeed in business and in life. And you want to feel that personal superpower where you're empowered like Jolene to go out there and stand for renegotiating your contracts or your salary or your promotion. And you might still be thinking, because we all have that fear of failing, right? But I want to remind you that every time you step outside your comfort zone, including right now, your brain is going to go into brain on change, and it's going to start telling you, oh, I don't have the money, this won't work for me, I don't have the right skills, I've tried something before. And you have to remember, this is your brain on change. And this is going to happen to you because it's part of the human experience. But what you're going to learn in the I Am Worth It transformation program is how to manage through that. Because I still get that when I go up to a new level and I have to use my own system to work my way through my brain on change, because you don't want your brain running your life because it's programmed to keep you small and safe. So here's what you're going to get. And it's a 6-season video course. It's valued at $19.97, which is a great value at that price. You're also going to get some bonus programs. So seasons 1 to 6, that's about making you worthy, because that's the foundation for everything. Most people skip this step on their way to success. They don't do that reset, and it's like trying to build a house without the foundation being solid. And so they fail, because they'll go after and be inspired to do these new things, but they haven't dealt with that reset. So when our brain goes into change and starts giving us all those reasons, the waterfall of negative thoughts, what happens? Well, we slide back to where we are. But when you build the foundation, then success is much easier. And these bonus programs designed by a woman for women to be successful are meant to help you be wealthy, because women need to embrace wealth as the fuel for their dreams and for their freedom. So bonus number 1 is how to become an engaged leader in 10 minutes a day. This is an amazing program that will teach you whether or not you are designated title a leader, or you're just trying to lead your coworkers or other people through a project. This will teach you how to get people to do the things that you need them to do. The first time, you're going to be able to step up, energize, connect, and be viewed as that engaging leader, the kind of leader that people want to follow. And you're going to get rid of performance issues and gain a stronger team, because when you are leading other people, you need to get your results through a successful team. And bonus number 2, how to design a life that you want. Your life is the greatest event you will ever attend. We spend so much time planning weddings and birthdays and vacation. How much time do you spend planning your life and creating the kind of life that you want? You're going to be able to find that deeper meaning and purpose, and stop wasting hours and days and months just existing every day, existing in a life that you're not happy with. Number 3, how to negotiate a yes. You know, that belief about waiting until someone, work hard, but wait until someone notice, didn't work very well for me. But when I learned how to negotiate a yes to the things I want in life, it started to change for me. I started to know that it was up to me to build the strategy to get the things that I was wanting. And I got rid of the fear of being rejected, or of people saying no, or what would they think about me when I was just, you know, tooting my own horn and going in there to ask for the things that I wanted. Number 4, maybe this is you. Women will tell me, oh, I hate that moment when I have to ask for the sale. I get that bad feeling in the pit of my stomach, right? And that's why there's so many broke women in the world, because we don't want to ask for it. But you're going to learn from my Selling Made Simple, my own personal system, when and how you should ask. And you're going to get rid of these myths that selling makes you rude, obnoxious, or a bad person. Okay, and finally, this is one of the exciting bonus programs that I built into this, is that, you know, you've taken a course, you've learned something, but then you don't need it right then. Later on you do, and then you have to try and go back and find that golden nugget. That's not going to happen with the I Am Worth It transformation program, because you can maximize your time spent learning, knowing that you can go back at any time to any episode, any lesson, and get that golden nugget in a shorter version, so that when you need to go in and ask for a raise or a sale, you can go back and refresh about what's the best way to do that. Problem solved, because I'm telling you, with the I Am Worth It transformation program, the first 6 seasons, you're going to become worthy, which is the foundation, a solid foundation to build your success on. And the bonus programs are, the intent is to send you out in the world being able to stand out in the crowd in the way you can execute, negotiate, communicate, and deliver. And that is what I call living the worthy, wealthy lifestyle. And that's what I want for every woman, because my mission, my passion is to change the world for everyone, one worthy, wealthy woman at a time. And there is a lot of time and money saved here, because I've taken all my experience, my ability to execute, and all the results I have had over 25 plus years, and I've created a one simple learning experience. And I've invested the money, over $100,000, building, testing, and developing the training, the personal development, the resources and strategies that I already know not only are working, but have worked for women in corporations, for entrepreneurs, for women going after their passion. So I have already invested the time and money to make sure that they work. So the bonus programs, how to become an engaged leader, how to design the life you want, how to negotiate a yes to what you want, making selling simple, which in itself would be enough to change a woman's life, and being able to go back and capture those golden nuggets, and almost $6,000 value. So in total value, with the exclusive inner circle, the 6-season video course, the 5 bonus programs, a value of just under $8,000. But that's not it, because I'm also going to give you a toolbox filled with my most popular resources to get you on that success path quickly. I'm opening my vault of checklists, templates, audios, and more that I have spent years, again, testing and building and designing, and I'm including them as part of this program, because you're gonna get the knowledge in the courses, and now these resources make the how to get it done very easy. Instant confidence, how to select a goal, the millionaire mindset, how to train your boss. It's one of my most popular corporate courses. So here's everything that you're going to get: the 6-season video course, the 5 bonus programs. So again, you're going to build your foundation of worth, build your foundation of wealth, and then have the tools to go out there and get stuff done. A total value of just under $9,000. Now, I want to tell you about Jen. Jen stalked me for a job. These are her words. When I was with the power company, she was a young HR professional, and she had just started her career, and she was in recruiting. Like most people in the beginning of our career, we have to get pigeonholed into one piece of what we're good at, and then work years to try and build that career. But I want to, I thought, how can I tell you about Jen? But just so happens that she left me a voice message that she said, this is okay for me to play, about everything she's achieved after she's used all this stuff, because everything that's in here, the I Am Worth It transformation program, the bonus programs, all the checklists, the resources, and all that stuff is stuff that I have created over the years, and things that Jen had access to, and now that she has taken into her career, and this is the success that she's experienced. So I'm just going to share this with you. And we'll just give this a little listen.
5:14 p.m. Hello, Miss Sugar. I have had a worthy, wealthy month, and I am so excited to tell you about it. But in so many words, I got offered a permanent position at my client's office, and the final comp package has tripled my income compared to 4 years ago. So all of my hard work at school and all of my hard work building up a client relationship and all of the stuff and all of the things you've coached into me, I just got the final deal today, and I am like just buzzing. And on top of that, outside of the job, we've been in the process. We're closing on a new place. We're going to move in a couple of months. It's still in the same neighborhood. We're going to be welcoming new puppies into our life. I'm going to be done school in a couple of weeks. And so I've just been thinking about you all weekend, and how so much of everything I do, I'm so grateful to you for. And I just have a story to add to your Worthy Women Network, and I will give you all kinds of testimonials if you need it, because Tammy, you are the best, and I wouldn't be here without you, babe. So, yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm so looking forward to connecting with you, and I still owe you a video testimony. Don't worry, it's in the back of my mind. I haven't forgotten. And yeah, everything. I just wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
Now, here's the thing, as I pull back up the screen and I talk about what you just heard from Jen. Jen was able to go out into the world with new skills that are not taught in school, a new way of looking at who she is, what she's capable of, and what it takes to be successful. And I want you to think about how would those results impact your life. If you could triple your salary in 4 years, she's Jen now under 30 at multiple six figures in her career. How would that change your life? Because for me, it's about that freedom of choice. What if you could triple the revenue in your business? And these things are all possible. You know, I've done it, Jen's done it, Allison's done it, other women have done it. And your first goal, if you're not at six figures, needs to be that six-figure mark. And then the next goal is, let's see how much more we can create after that. Because when you're worthy and you're wealthy, you have true freedom to impact yourself, the people you love, and the world at large. So let's just give me 1 second here, get back on track. I got excited about Jen. So obviously you heard her, you heard the excitement in her voice. And I get excited because this is what my passion is, and it has always been, is to help people be successful. But that's not everything, because I'm going to give you one more gift to guarantee your success. I'm giving you all my custom work books. Science says when you write things down, and we all know this is true, it improves that encoding process. So when you're reprogramming your brain so you'll strive for that success, you want to make sure you write it down. It's 42% more likely that you'll remember it. When we remember it, we'll do it. That means it gets implemented. I've spent years creating these workbooks. They're designed to lead you step by step through a journey that leads to self-discovery, insight, and reprogramming your beliefs. And that's one of my superpowers, is because I'm an operational strategist, I see the pathway. That's what made me successful in business, and why I could help grow my career so quickly, is because I could see a path that would lead to success. And that's exactly what I've created for everyone who takes the I Am Worth It transformation program. Just the success journal alone, keeping the success journal, will change your life. I've sat in on thousands of rave reviews where women come in with feelings but not facts, and either they can't articulate what they've achieved because they believe it's not the right thing to do, it will make them look conceited, or they don't really know, because we can't accumulate a whole years of success and then sit down in one moment and remember it. So what does that mean? How much have you increased revenue? How many new clients did you bring in? What costs did you reduce? What projects did you bring in on time, on budget? So just that one workbook alone in your career would change the amount of money you're able to make. So everything you're going to get here, the 6-season video course, Worthy, the bonus programs, Wealthy, the Resource Vault, the custom workbooks, just over $9,000. Now you're also going to get, because this is from Napoleon Hill, deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think and act on building the life that you desire. VIP status into our inner circle community, according to psychologist Dr. David McClellan, and this is, I want you to hear this, of Harvard, the people you habitually associate with determine as much as 95% of your success or failure in life. 95%. So when you can be part of an inner circle community, that's going to help you expedite your growth and increase your likelihood of success. So what does that mean? As I said, I've been mentoring thousands of people to success my entire career. It's going to help you increase that belief in your own personal superpower when you're around like-minded people. You're part of an exclusive community. You get instant and a valuable support network. This is a structured journey to growth. Again, it's not just hanging around in a group. Also, because you've purchased the I Am Worth It transformation program, you get a VIP status in the inner circle community and access to weekly training dedicated just for your success, accountability, but most importantly, you're going to be dreaming bigger, you're going to believe it's possible, and you're going to take that massive action that's going to lead to your success. So I value it at $600, but the real truth is that that's priceless. I have expedited my growth by always looking for that person who's ahead of me to shine the light on the path. And that's exactly what I can be for you, just like I have done for thousands of other women. So here it is, the package, the 6-season video, the 5 bonus programs. So worthiness, the solid foundation to build your wealth upon, resource vault, custom workbooks, access, VIP access to the inner circle community, a value of $10,000. And I could charge you $10,000 and I would be okay with that because it would still be worth it. When you think about Jen tripling her salary, would you pay $10,000 to have that happen to you? Would you pay $10,000 up front to get to that 6 figures? And if all it did was help you believe that you were worth it, would you pay $10,000 if because of that believing you're worth it, you would step outside your comfort zone and take the risk that will lead to your success? Or it helped you become an engaged leader, find deeper meaning and purpose? Or if it helped you ask for that sale and build more revenue in your business, or ask for that raise or promotion? Of course you would. We all would. But I had 2 choices. I could make this a cheap program, or I could make it valuable. And I have used valuable my entire life, creating roadmaps and pathways and journeys for people to go from where they are to where they need to be. And I've invested not only $100,000 to build this out so that it is valuable and it works, but you're getting to take advantage of my 30+ years of successful time in business and as an entrepreneur. And as I said, I want you to know I am an unlikely candidate for success. I'm not special. I don't have any, supernatural gifts. And I struggled with my own worth. It was at 53 at that power company when I had lived beyond what I had ever dreamed possible for myself. As that girl who dropped out of school and had her first job at $1.35 an hour. I was on the phone with my son discussing my raise review coming up the next day. And at the end of the call, he said to me, "Mom, it's not that they don't value you. It's that you don't value yourself." And it just clicked for me in that moment. I realized, like countless other women, I didn't believe I was worth it. And because of that, I was living small, waiting for other people to decide what I was worth. And it was in that moment that I changed my destiny and went in there and for the first time ever said no to what was offered to me. And to my surprise, got more than I had asked for. And then, as my son will say, and then you know what she did next? She quit her cushy job to go follow her destiny and help other women rise up into their own worthiness, because I know that's the solid foundation that you will build success on. So the I Am Worth It transformation program, just under $10,000 value. Our regular price for the program is $997, which is a good return on investment. And sorry about that. And of course, it's going to be worth it to you to believe you're worth it, that you can live the life that you dream about. And obviously to build your wealth, because both go hand in hand. Wealth is the fuel for your dreams. But for today, because you're here, like I said, there's a reason why you're here. The teacher shows up when you're ready to learn the lesson. I'm going to give you that discount today, but I'm also doing it for this reason. I know that you will get results. And when you do, you are going to tell other women and they're going to come and take the program. And that's part of my mission, is to have 100,000 women go through the program, because I believe that that's how we will change the world as women. That change for us as women will not come from the top down, but will come from the bottom up, as we as individuals rise up into our personal power and go out there and change the world for everyone, one worthy, wealthy woman at a time. So the I Am Worth It program with all its gifts, not $10,000, not $1,000, but today for $497. So all you need to do is click the link that's there to go to IamWorthItProject.com, the special offer, because that's where you'll get that special price of $497. Hey, I'm sure there's other things that you could spend that $497 on, but would you get the value that you're going to get from this program and the bonuses? And you have a choice. I say that there's this short distance between the truth, when we recognize the truth, you know, in those aha moments, that where the blinders of our brains open up, like I did many times throughout my life when I had cancer, and I recognized I don't want to experience this. I don't want to live my life with regret, and I want to make sure that I live my dreams, and taking action. And what you have to realize is that the difference is your brain's going to go into change, right? And it's going to tell you, I don't have the money, the time, the skill, it's not going to work. And you have to take the action so that you can start building that foundation of worthiness and wealth. I love Colleen. She says, just do it, come and do it. It's eye-opening. And Tammy has really opened my eyes to where I need to go in life. Hey, money is good. I'll always say, I love money. And then women will look at me like, I don't know, should I still like you? Because as women, we have this shame and belief we carry about money. Like, if we have money, we can't be a good person, which is not true. There is no either or. You can be a good person and be wealthy, but money is really just a tool. It's a currency that we use to exchange for things of value. And, you know, when I go to exchange my money for value, I want to know that it's going to give me a return on my investment. So I don't look at what I'm spending, I look at what I'm going to get in return. And the great thing about this is that you can go and try it, because I am offering to take all the risk. It's a full 14-day guarantee. You go in there and this program doesn't work like I say it will, that you go through the 6 seasons and it doesn't rebuild your worth, and then use the bonus programs to increase your wealth, then come on back and I will give you your money back. No questions asked, because I already know the results that you're going to achieve when you take the action. But here's the thing, habits are hard to break because our brain is running that robot lifestyle, right? Where we're doing the same thing every day. And then when we try to break a habit and step out of it, what does it do? It goes into brain on change, right? And it's trying to reel us back into safety. So, hey, I'm going to leave here today. I'm still going to be successful because I have learned to reprogram, and I'm running my brain. My brain is not running my life, but you could leave here thinking, hey, I've learned some cool stuff, and, you know, I'll think about it later, but I can tell you exactly what will happen is you'll wake up tomorrow and you will fall back into your robot lifestyle, and within, you know, that day or a couple of days be having those same feelings of, is this all there is? You know, what else is out there for me? But I'm your coach. I'm a friend. I'm another woman, and I'm definitely a mentor. I've been mentoring people to success my entire life. And the way to make this change is to do that first part, which is the reprogramming, the reset of that backpack of beliefs. And the I Am Worth It transformation program is the method to reprogram the code, you know, that is preventing you from striving for the success that you deserve. Now, if this wasn't enough and amazing enough already, I want you to feel good, and I want you to get results, and I want you to live that worthy, wealthy life. So if you're thinking, well, yeah, but I think I still might need some guidance, well, I'm offering you a bonus strategy call that will come along with your purchase today. People have changed the total direction of their lives in one call with me, and that is a value of $500. So here it is, the 6-season video course. The foundation is your worthiness. You're gonna build the worthiness, and then you're gonna use the bonus programs to build your wealth on top. So worthiness and wealth with all the other resources, custom workbooks, VIP status in the inner circle, a strategy call, a value of over $10,000. Everything that you have here today is only $497. I want to, you know, close off with this quote that I don't want you to fear failure. That's often what we fear. Well, what happens if I, you know, fail? Fear being in the exact same place next year as you are today, because I will never forget that moment in the doctor's office when I didn't know if I was going to live, in that overwhelming sense of regret not for the things I had done or tried, right? That's what we believe we're going to regret, or that we spend our time regretting. It was for all the things I didn't try and I didn't do because I didn't believe I was worthy. I didn't believe that I had what it would take to be successful. I was living in that prison that I created from that backpack of beliefs that I would never have success. And it was in that moment that I was able to open up the door of that cage of false beliefs and recognize that no matter what, I was going to find a way to never experience that when that moment came again, because there will be a moment like that for all of us. That's the human experience. We're born and we die. So don't fear failure, fear being in the exact same place next year as you are today. Don't waste another day. If you're on the fence, go and open a new browser, click the link, get started. There's no risk. It's 100% guarantee. And the return on investment is incredible. Imagine living your life feeling fully worthy of building the wealth, 6 figures and beyond, so that you can have freedom of choice, freedom to not stay in places where you don't want to be, and the freedom to move forward into your destiny. The power is yours. It's waiting there for you in the I Am Worth It transformation program. And mostly go do it because you, watching this right now, each and every one of you, are worthy. You're worth living a life that you dream about. Thank you so much for your time. And I really want to see you on the other side. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Thanks so much.